Big audience tonight, Chuck.
Big audience. I think we're going to break a record tonight. People were looking forward to both of these games.
How many?
It's going to be Game of Thrones type number.
We just broke Game of Thrones. We did.
What's the number?
You just checked it?
2.9 billion.
Billion.
Wow.
Yes, 2.9 billion.
We better be good then.
Yeah, we got
this show better really be good.
Count China. Count our fans.
I didn't count China.
Did you count Toronto?
Yeah.
Because you know we don't get the Toronto rating.
I know, but we're going to get them tomorrow night.
It's inside the NBA.
No, that's Thursday night. My bad.
It's presented by Kia.
I'm big in Canada.
You big everywhere, Chuck. Big everywhere.
And Charles. And we go to the highlights of the Rockets and the Warriors and more. There was a lot of stuff going on in this game.
He had an attitude today. He tried to say
down the street in my 6'4".
Right off the bat, here we go. Steph Curry
give me that.
puts his hand in there and then comes away looking at it. It's a dislocated left middle finger. You know which one that is, Chuck.
Yep.
And he goes to the locker room, but would return
Man up,
later.
Steph.
Man up, Steph. It's just
Icy hot on that thing.
And then it's James Harden as Draymond Green catches him across the eyes.
I saw when he did that.
Well, we all saw it. We were watching the game, fool.
And so Harden, with a laceration to the left eyelid and scratched across both eyes, so he goes to the locker room.
Oh, both eyes? I didn't know it was both eyes.
I thought you saw it.
And sportsmanship there by Draymond Green, and Harden heads to the locker room for treatment. Steph comes back.
Pass the ball, Steph. You got a bad finger.
And knocks down the three. Kevon Looney with the block.
Hey, the bench for the Rockets played fantastic.
They outscored Golden State 23-19 while Harden was being attended to in the locker room.
Tell you what, turnovers and offensive rebound were the difference in this game.
No doubt. And there goes Harden right to the rim, and then stepping back for three. So Houston hanging around.
No, he only blinked his eye on defense.
Klay Thompson. You missed your cue. Klay Thompson.
Pull!
Yeah.
Oh, nice step back there.
And Harden again.
Watch him blink his eye on defense. Told you. Look, something wrong with his eye on defense, not on offense.
At the half, 58-49, Golden State, and the Warriors start to pull away. Durant for three. He had 29. Durant.
Step in.
Man.
Can't do nothing with that.
Nothing you can do with that one.
Klay Thompson.
Pull!
15-point lead. Steph loving every second of it.
Oh, I think.
So was Klay. And here come the Rockets again.
Yeah,
how about that?
A lot of Chris Paul.
If he nutmegged you, you wouldn't like it, huh?
What's that called?
Nutmeg. Out of the corner, Gerald Green fires away. 13-2 run.
Shout out to the Rockets bench. They were fabulous.
Harden. It's 92-89. But the Warriors say enough of this.
Oh, yeah.
He makes it look effortless.
Well, that triangle motion right there, Kenny.
Yeah.
Draymond up top, great look.
Iguodala played fantastic.
Yeah, the bubble wrap.
One more.
Remember Tony Jones from the Athletic.
Swing it, dunk it.
Oh.
Yep.
Step on his head.
The Golden State Warriors take out the Rockets 115-109 to take a 2-0 series lead. Talk about those technicals. Those turnovers, 18 turnovers, leading to 24 points. It was really bad in the first half. They had 13
What about the
turnovers.
offensive rebound? That's bad, too.
Yeah, no doubt. Moments ago, Mike D'Antoni on James Harden.
You talk about how James played second half, what you thought about what he went through after getting the injury.
Oh, he fought through some stuff. I mean, the guy, looked like he was, not in great shape the first half. I think he might have cleared up a little bit, but he got raked pretty good in the eyes. And but that's him. I mean, I didn't have a doubt he's coming back unless it was something catastrophic. So I'm sure he would have loved to have played better, but under the circumstances, I thought he played great. And, we had our chances down toward the end. We were on 3 or 4 down, and they made big plays. We just didn't get it done.
So we do not play again in this series until Saturday.
Man, that's a long time.
3 nights off. Plenty of time for Steph and James Harden to try to get themselves right. Don't know exactly the extent of how bad Harden is right now. It looked like he was sensitive to light and that kind of thing. A couple of those timeouts and that kind of thing. But again, 3 nights off before they play again.
Well, not only that. I mean, like in the next game, is it Monday? So, I mean, it's just a must-win for the Rockets the next 2 games. I mean, it's as simple as I can put it.
Well, if you lose 2, the game's over.
No, but I'm saying, but they got to win both of those games. I mean, those next two games are must-win, plain and simple.
I think they're disappointed that they lost, but they're more disappointed in the turnovers. So if they could correct that problem and shoot pretty good at home, I think they can get Game 3. But Chuck is right. If they don't win that Game 3, pull them.
Well, if they lose Game 3, they're going to get swept. But they got to win both games. They got to win 3 and 4 to make this a series.
So if we know that's the case, what do they have to do? And
well,
what I would say, I'll start it, and you can kind of, that's why I wanted you guys to jump in. What I think what they have to do differently is they have to figure out a way to involve the role of the pick. In this series, the role has been null and void. Clint Capella has not been part of this series. His role has been stopped and stymied. So there's just been a pick. So that allows you to D up the shooter a little bit more aggressively. But if they don't figure out a way to involve the role, because it's the nights that he has 22 points and 15 rebounds that they become a little bit unstoppable.
Well, let me just say
so
this.
14 and 10 from him is not.
No, because it was 14 unmemorable points. I don't even remember probably but 4 of them.
But let me say this.
Because every lob they threw got deflected.
Yeah, without question.
But, credit Golden State's defense in the rotation.
They have to make the role.
They got in the way.
I'm going to say these 2 stats. And you ain't probably never going to win a game with, unless you just playing against a crappy team. 17 turnovers and 18 offensive rebounds. That's crazy.
Yeah, 18 turnovers.
It's 18. Okay, yeah, that's team, but I'm looking at my stats. But 18 offensive rebounds. You're not gonna win many games like that.
Yeah, second chance points. Well, pretty even second chance points, 20 to 19 in a game. But when you look at those other numbers, they're pretty much even in the game. But the turnovers themselves, boy, that just killed any chance of momentum.
But even though when you get the turnovers, the offensive rebound, you just don't get those opportunities.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's the difference in the game. And we're talking about a 6-point game.
How many possessions were there total?
77 and 91.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's the difference.
Yeah,
that's what it's.
Someone, I know someone once asked me, well, every team gets the same amount of possessions. No, they don't, because when you turn it over and they get offensive rebounds, you get more possessions. So if they had 91 opportunities to score, you only had 71 opportunities to score.
And they shot 46%.
You're going to basically lose most of the time. So you have 20. You're basically saying 20 times. You take the ball 20 times at us before we start the game.
So the question is, can they win again?
Oh, yeah, they could win a game. They could win a game.
But they're going to have to play well. I mean, honestly, I got to give the Rockets some credit. They did not whine and complain about the officiating tonight.
And the officiating was good.
The officiating was good, but it had to be good because everybody was watching. But turnovers and rebounds were the easy solution to this game for the Rockets.
It is a 2-0 series for the champs, 115 to 109. They're not just talking about James Harden and the eye injury. They're wondering about you, Kenny.
Well, actually,
are those real glasses?
These are the Blu-ray glasses, so for the computer.
Really?
So it doesn't hurt the computer. These don't even have prescription.
What the hell did you just say?
So like when you're on the computer a lot, it takes. And we're looking at the screen, like in the TV. We're looking at the screen and the lights. It stops.
Let me see those. Let me see those things, man.
Sure.
The other ones I have, the black ones are prescription. Ernie, you look good. Ernie, you look nice.
Ernest, turn around.
Come on, man.
Quit changing. Hey, Steve.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Those are good looking on you,
Just like it's okay. Let's look over here.
Ernie.
Which your camera is it? Huh?
Yeah. Ernie, I tell you what, man.
Good look.
They make you look good and intelligent.
Yeah, good look.
Yeah.
You can rock them for the rest of the night if you want.
Thanks. I appreciate that. There were other eye issues, we're told.
What's that?
Tim Kiley, our producer, says.
Well, no matter how bad your eyes are, he's fat.
Oh, this also happened.
Boom.
I was giving Shaq the perfect no look, and he was coming over to block my shot.
At least it worked. He wasn't looking.
And I took it with a smile. Charles Barkley would have been on the floor.
No, listen,
medic.
That was Jared Dudley there, and you're going to see him a little bit later on in this show. As he
Who helped me up? That was you, Jason?
Great pass
earlier tonight.
Ernie. Great pass.
Jason,
Thank you so much.
that was you? Oh, must have been Jared.
When we come back, we'll head to the mean streets of Milwaukee.
Oh,
Bucks trying to tie things up with the C's. Going on in that first half, and when the dust had settled, Golden State had a 58-49 lead. Klay Thompson leading the way for Golden State with 13. American Express halftime report from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Kenny, Shaq, and Charles. Tail of the tape in the first half. Look at those turnovers. 13 by the Rockets, leading to 20 Golden State points. Houston, no points off the 4 Golden State turnovers. And it's a 9-point lead in a game in which the superstars spent some time in the locker room with injuries. Steph Curry and James Harden. Let's start there.
Well, let me go here then. Let me go to the board.
Go to the board.
Let me go to the board. Because most of the time I go to the board, it's all about
X's and O's.
X's and O's. But the series last year was dictated on things like this. And now, if you have your best players not being able to play, here's Steph Curry, freak injuries. This has been going on throughout the playoffs. So if you have freak injuries, here's Steph Curry getting his injury, going to the locker room. All of a sudden now, we don't know if he's going to be able to play with the same intensity, but he did come back. This is what could separate the Rockets right here and them. And then Harden getting poked in the eye, bleeding from the eye on a inadvertent, Chuck?
Yeah.
Inadvertent finger
Accidental.
by Draymond Green. Accidental by Draymond
First of all,
Green.
that's what inadvertent means, fool.
No, it's a little bit of both. But we have the bleed in there. Hey, what would you have said to him, Shaq, right there?
I'd have said, hey.
Take the night off, rest your eye.
Yep.
This could be
Hope we
it.
don't
We don't
see
have to
no
go
more.
through X's and O's, because if these two guys don't play, it changes the dynamic of the series. It changes the dynamic of how you run your offense and what your defensive schemes are. So there's nothing to do.
It hurts
but
the Rockets more.
Without question.
Yeah, no question. But
Dislocated
Bingo, that's no big deal.
left middle finger.
Yeah, that don't mean anything. They're just going to be sore tomorrow. That's no big deal. But, you know, Rockets going to be really disappointed in 13 turnovers.
No doubt.
I mean, you can't turn the ball over. They did 2 things that were bad. The turnovers, obviously, but there was 3 plays where they scored and gave up a layup within 5 seconds. That cannot happen. I mean, Reggie did a fantastic job of talking about it. I mean, they got a basket, and the Warriors were laying it back in within 5 seconds. That cannot happen.
Crazy thing was Harden goes out with the eye injury. They outscore Golden State 23-19. Austin Rivers was a big part of that, hitting 3-pointers. In fact, Austin Rivers in the first half has 11 points. And
PJ Tucker hit 2 big threes also.
But they kept him hanging around and cut the gap to 36-31 by the time Harden returned to the game. But again, turnovers by Houston, and if you continue at a pace like this, you got no shot.
Yeah, with so much going on, you know, officiating, am I getting fouled when I'm shooting? You lose a game on the road. When you come in for the second game, you got to concentrate on it. Concentration is the most, you know. So right now, I don't think they're really concentrating. Come on, Capella. Ernie Johnson said your name last week. Let's go to work. James, you're doing too much. You know Scott Foster's right there. You got to, you know, be a little smarter. You got to take care of the ball. 13 turnovers at Golden State. You'll never beat Golden State like that. Right there, Chris Paul looking for the contact. You know the ref's not going to call it. Scott Foster's out there again. Another crazy pass. Defense there. You definitely have to concentrate when you're playing in a hostile environment in front of hostile fans.
Steph Curry was
what's going on, despite what's going on, you still got to concentrate.
The thing that's interesting, and we said this before, anytime you play on the road, the 2 most important stats was the Rockets are getting killed at turnovers and offensive rebounds. That's the difference in the game. When you play on the road, you can, especially against a team like the Warriors, but any team you play on the road, if you control the boards and don't turn the ball over, you got a chance. And they're getting killed on the boards and turn the ball over. That's why they're down.
I know you said no big thing on Steph Curry. Let me ask you, as a guy running the point, and I know it's not your shooting hand, but how's it going to impact you ball handling wise and everything?
It does. He will get used to it. you know, if it's not in pain. But having tape on your hand, what it does is you don't feel the basketball the same way. So when you're shooting the basketball, if you saw his first couple of shots, he kept looking at it because you don't feel the ball when it comes, because you don't always catch it with your right hand. You catch it with your left and you're ready to shoot, and you don't feel it. It just slides off. So it is a different feeling, but he's the greatest shooter possibly in the history of the game. He's going to figure it out, and he's going to be able to knock shots down.
Houston outshoots Golden State in the first half, and 10 threes compared to 4 for Golden State, but it is a Golden State lead at the break, 58-49. As we head to break, a reminder, Amex card members, this is for you. Whenever a player records a triple-double in a playoff game, you can get 32% off at NBAstore.com the following day. Go to NBAstore.com/Amex32 for terms and details. We will be back with more on the American Express Halftime Report. What are you nodding about?
The voice upstairs was in my ear.
That's TK. Sorry, folks.
You're watching the American Express Halftime Report.